Alright, here's a quick video on how to polish your exhaust for a Mustang Cobra with an independent rear suspension, or IRS. I picked up the Magnaflow exhaust. I was up between this and the Borla, and after listening to several videos, I decided to go with the Magnaflow just because I thought the Borla was too loud and too aggressive for a convertible. So I've had Magnaflow on other cars as well as on my Saline, so I liked it. Purchased the Magnaflow, but it has a different grade of stainless. I believe it's 304 and Borla is 409. I think that's correct. I may have them reversed, but in any regard, it's a different compound, different breakdown of what the components are, and I guess it's a lower grade stainless. Now, I talked to Magnaflow. They said that you can polish this exhaust, so we're going to give it a shot and kind of take pictures and videos throughout the process and let you guys know how it turned out. It's not too bad initially. There's a little bit of scratching there, but some areas are pretty shiny already. We'll see how those scratches there kind of buff out. But anyway, this is the start of it. I'm going to be starting with 320, 600, 800, 1000, 1500, and then I think 2000 is what I have. So we'll see how it works out. Alright, I'm still working on the first sanding grade with the 320, and there's actually ridges in this. I don't know if I can pick them up on the phone camera. There you go. You can kind of see them right here. So I'm going to drop down to 220 and see if I can get rid of those before I go back to 320. The rest of it's kind of coming out pretty good, being the very first step, but probably just being a little anal. But I'll hit it with 220 and see if that takes it out. Alright, I hit it with 220 on a couple of the rough spots, and it's not perfect. There's a couple of like dimples and scratches, but again, this isn't a piece that you're going to see up close. It's just a reflection of the ground. But surprisingly, actually, after 220 and then I knocked it again with 220 and then 320, it looks pretty good. But obviously going to keep going forward. But I wanted to show you some of the steps, how it looks after each one. As I said before, surprisingly, the Magnaflow looked pretty good coming out of the box. If it wasn't going to be, visible at all, I don't even know if I would even go this step. But since it is, we'll continue on. I hit it with the 600, and although it's got a nice shine to it in some spots, the imperfections and the flaws are still there. I see them right there in the flashlight. I could go out in the sun, but it's hot today. It's 90 plus degrees outside, so I'm going to try and use the Dremel tool with the wire wheel on it and try and take those out, and then I'll take another video of it and see how it looks. Overall, I mean, it hasn't been polished yet. It's just still in the sanding, but it's coming out pretty good. But we'll see how those scratches come out with the Dremel tool, as opposed to going backwards and using a thicker, coarse sandpaper. Okay, this is after the 600. The scratches that I saw before, the part of the imperfections in the mandrel bending of the tube are still there. They really didn't come out. All it did was fling wire pieces at me from the Dremel tool. It was kind of a waste of time. Again, it's not on top of the car, it's on the bottom, so I'm not quite that anal that those need to come out. But we'll continue on and see how it looks, and maybe when I go to 1000 or 1500, I'll take it out in the sun and compare it with the other one. Alright, here's a side-by-side comparison of two pipes. The one in the back, obviously I've gone through 1,000 on that, and the one in the front I haven't touched yet. And this hasn't even been polished yet. This is just sanding, so it's definitely working. We'll go through 2,000, which is the grit that I have up to, and then do a little bit of polishing and do another side-by-side comparison. So far, so good. This is through 1,500. It's got a nice good shine to it already. I've got one more stage of sandpaper, obviously 2,000, and then the polish. But it's just wet. It's definitely a pain in the ass. And a lot of work. But we'll see if it's worth it. Hope so. Alright, here's the side-by-side. Look real quick at the two pipes. Obviously the one on the left has been polished, or at least sanded through. Nice, Maverick, real nice. Get out of here. Alright, yeah, he wanted to be in the video. Plots, Maverick, plots. Good boy. Alright, so this one's been polished, or at least sanded. It hasn't been polished yet. It's just gone through 2,000. And the one on the left obviously came out of the box. So, I mean, that looks damn good. It doesn't have any polish on it at all. It's just the sandpaper. So, I'm real happy with that. And, you know, honestly, it only took me about this one side, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half. You know, it goes pretty quick. So, but I'll throw a little bit of polish on it and see what the difference is. You know, if it goes any better. But I'd be happy with putting that on the car right now, especially compared to that. And you know, that's not too bad either, considering. But we all know how the suspension of the exhaust hangs down below, and you can see it. So, what do you think, buddy? 2 thumbs up from Maverick. All right, here's the final video. The exhaust has been sanded through 2,000, and I just polished it with Mother's aluminum polish, just by hand. Actually, it came out very, very nice. You know, they tell you when you buy the exhaust that the tips are polished, and they are. It's more of a brushed finish. If you look at it, obviously it looks very nice, but you really can't see a reflection that clearly. And if you go to the pipes, you know, you can see that that is almost a mirror finish as opposed to that. So maybe if you wanted to, you know, match the tips, 2,000 might be too high for a grit. I'm definitely not going to polish the tips. I've done enough work as it is on this. But anyway, it turned out really great. So you can polish a Magnaflow exhaust. As I mentioned before, we'll see how it turned out. Turned out pretty good. I'll throw it on the car and take another snapshot of it and see how it looks. And then maybe do like a 6-month follow-up to see how it's holding up. It doesn't see rain or snow, of course, but you know, just daily moisture from the engine itself. We'll see how the exhaust holds up.